Okay, so this video is the use of D2O, or what we call D2O shakes, and also the use of deuterated solvents. So let's start with D2O. Earlier on in the previous video, we looked at ethanol and we found out it would have a HNMR graph which looks like this. So the problem with this one is that this OH, and this is also true for NHs, they can crop up anywhere. So if we look at our table, look, they can be anywhere. And that's really awkward if you've got multiple singlets, because then it's hard to figure out which one is the OH. So what we can do is shake our sample with D2O. Now D2O is essentially heavy water. So water is H2O and hydrogen is made up out of one proton. Yeah, so it's got one proton in it, no neutrons. Deuterium is an isotope of hydrogen that has one proton and one neutron. So it has an even number of nucleons. Now because of this, and don't worry too much about why this is, but because of this, deuterium, unlike hydrogen, will not show up on a hydrogen NMR. It is hydrogen NMR invisible, and that's because it's got an even number of nucleons. So what we do is we shake our OH molecule or NH molecule with D2O, and then the deuterium swaps over for the hydrogen on the OH or the NH. So that's going to give us this. So now it's OD, but only on OHs or NHs. Now, if we then try and draw the graph of this one, well, we're still going to have environment A and B, because they haven't swapped over. So we're still going to have this. But as we no longer have an OH, that peak will disappear. So what you do is you run your sample first without D2O. You then do a D2O shake and run it again. And whichever peaks disappear must have been OHs or NHs. We can also use deuterium in a different way. If you've got a sample and you want to put it in a solution so that you can use it in your NMR machine, you need a solvent to dissolve that sample in. Now, have a little think a second. Why would dissolving it in water or something else, another solvent that contained hydrogen, not be a very good idea? Well, it's because that will give a peak, won't it? If you're using a solvent that contains hydrogens, they're going to give a peak in a hydrogen NMR. And that could be confusing on your graph. So what we use as a solvent, there's many different examples. This is the one I'd remember, is CdCl3. It's a tetrahedral molecule that looks like this. And you can see we don't have a hydrogen here, we have a deuterium, so this will not show up on a hydrogen NMR and it won't confuse our graph. So use of D2O shake is to remove OH or NH peaks, and the use of deuterated solvents is a solvent that will not give HNMR peaks. There we go.